Hello, wonderful people. How are you? Today I'm talking about the Epicureans. I'm talking about hedonism. And I'm talking about the big spike. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, and the other day in the comments, I was talking about the comments, somebody put, you Jovo I was called. I've never been called a Jovo before. And even though I said I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, he still called me a Jovo, like as though I was still one. Anyway, so when I was a Jehovah's Witness, we were taught about a group of people called the Epicureans. And there was a big whole watchtower about the Epicureans. The Epicureans, if I remember rightly, and this was a long time ago, were the first hedonists. And they had a kind of a motto, which was, live for today, for tomorrow we die. Okay? And so they would live vicarious lives. Pretty much the first, the 10 years from me being 20 to 30. Very similar. I was an Epicurean. I was an Epicureanist. And I lived a vicarious life. However, then you realize that that isn't really life. That's what you do when you're not living life. So anyway, the reason I mention that is that there's a van. Some people might call it a truck, but a van in our estate. And on the back, it's got one life, live it. And I was looking at that. I saw it as I went out for a run, and I was kind of meditating on that. And what occurred to me was that is a fundamental part of the sickness of our society. And doubtless, that was coined by the baddies. I just don't doubt it. Why? Because the idea of this society, the whole idea to stop people from having kids, getting people to be very confused about who they are and what gender they are, it's all on the basis of this is your life. You live it as you want. Right? And if you look into the works of Aleister Crowley, that was pretty much what he used to sell as well as a thing, do as thy will, or whatever, wilt. I think he used to put wilt, he had a T on the end of his will back then. Many men that I know have T's on the end of the wills. However, that is not a great way to build society. That's a great way of destroying society. You've got this one life, live it. Don't have kids. Don't do anything to make anything better. Just live your life. Okay, so what I would suggest as a better slogan would be, many lives, live them. Better. Because then it takes the pressure off. Like, this is the only one I've got? This is the only one? Well, I better live it. No, I've got many lives. I'm going to live them, but I know I've got more. Takes the pressure off a bit. Yeah, if you believe in that sort of thing, which is something what I do. Okay, but I'm willing to have that belief changed at any time. Okay, so let's come on to the big event. A little while ago, I talked about a message that the emissaries give me about a very big spike event, that they could see a very big spike of energy, frequency. And I asked them, do you still see that? Is that still there? Remember, everything changes. Just because they say that doesn't mean that it's always going to be the case. I mean, there have been some very weird stuff going on. However, they said, yes, we still see it. However, I said, is it like good energy, bad energy, this spike? What is it? What they said was that the big spike is a spike of negative intent. Negative intent. Is that any surprise? No. Okay, so negative intent. But what they said was that despite the negative intent, the reaction to the big spike is not going to be what they want. It's going to be a negative reaction to their negative intent. What they explained was that there are so many of us now that are awake. The alternative media is so extremely big now, and also thanks to things like Twitter, where people are just being allowed to say what they want. We're hitting, don't underestimate that lack of censorship on Twitter. That is going to have an impact. You know, words have power, and people are pouring the words out. It is going to have an impact. It mightn't be immediate, but it's going to be medium to long term. Very strong impact. So, and then there's tons of other channels that are allowing this kind of interaction. So what's going to happen, and this is what always happens with all of the false stroke flags. I don't know whether that word's flagged up. Anyway, I'll say stroke in the middle. So it happens all the time. Whereas it happens, it's instantly called out. It's instantly called out. Well, what the emissaries were saying was that this big spike is going to be called out so quickly, because they said there's nothing hidden now, and it's going to be called out by so many people that it's actually going to make them lose credibility, as if they had any credibility left to lose. But they have, because that's what they said. They're going to lose more credibility. And so it's going to backfire on them. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're going to get it wrapped around the necks, to use as many of those kind of metaphors as possible. And so this is what's going to happen. What it is, I don't know. They won't tell me. But I've got a funny feeling. I know. But I might be wrong. I just have a funny feeling, I know. But I might be wrong. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it's going to be called out. I mean, already, let's just talk about, my gut feel. This whole, alien invasion kind of thing. And, now, somebody's admitting, whistleblower, yes, we have the alien craft. And then there's Mexican family taking videos of these aliens with big eyes coming down. Everything is like, it all seems a little bit too timely. And so I wonder whether that could be the thing. But, it's already being called out. It's been called out for yonks. It's since the beginning, since long before the Con/Vade scandal. It's been rolled out. Yeah, we're just waiting now. The last one is the alien invasion. So who knows? It could be that. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not prophesying anything. Yeah, I'm just passing on a message. But it would be fun, wouldn't it? As Neil, I don't know if Neil sees these, Neil from Glasgow, hi Neil. Neil said, Gordon, I really do hope that it is that, because it's just going to be so funny. And it really is going to be so funny. I'm saying that, it might be awful, because, they might, make it awful. But even then, it's still funny. The fact that they would even go there. And they are pushing the envelope a little bit, aren't they, with that one? We'll see. It's been the most talked about ending, hasn't it, for decades now. The government is going to, expose everything. What's the word? I can't remember the word that they use all the time, where they're going to give you this information. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, our job is just to keep ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally strong. To keep our spirits up, to keep our pecker up. Indeed, to keep our pecker up. That's what we've got to do. We've gone through the really, really tough times, and we're still here, still breathing, still chatting away. Talking about chatting away, if you want to join the Peaceful Rebellion chat group, the link is in the information in the video. Come and join us. Why not? Lovely people. You've got to be a nice person, though. So that's all we've got to do. Just keep each other buoyant, and let's get through this. And we will. And we'll get to the other side. We're already on the other side. It's just still a bit sticky and messy. We still got sand in our bathing suit. Yeah, there's still a little bit of, a bit of residue on our feet. So, I love you all, and I'll leave you with that. Take care.